Previously on When Mason Earle Came to Town. We learned I can't climb cracks for shit. I threw Andrew under the bus and called him fat. You see, Andrew was a new father with new priorities and new body weight. And then Mason casually onsighted the mega roof crack and established one of our hardest boulder problems. It was a pretty good day. But actually, that wasn't the end. When a pro stops by your crag, you gotta take advantage. So right after the crack, I took Mason over to another unclimbed project. This time it was a dihedral problem that had eluded all who tried it. And as coincidence would have it, this was another problem previously tried by Andrew. You see, for years, he was my go-to guy to get shit done. And he had a damn good track record, too. Fuck! But when I heard these moans, I knew, yet again, we were fucked. And I say we because this was originally my project, and this was going to be my legacy. Problem is, this is what it looks like when I climb. Needless to say, I wasn't sending that shit. Now, this is the second time I'm highlighting Andrew not sending, and I'm starting to feel a little guilty. So before we get to that, let me remind you that this man onsighted the Bakarian, you can watch that vid right here on the channel, onsighted the Rostrum, onsighted Astroman, and a ton of other badass shit. So before we get back to him laying on the mat, let me at least show you this highball first ascent he did ground up. I mentioned ground up because this line has a sketchy landing. Who knew about the rock quality? And the moves didn't exactly look easy. If any problem deserved a top rope inspection, it would have been this one. But Andrew wasn't having any of that. Okay, now that I've covered my ass, let's get back to the good stuff.
Yeah, I got that part. Scoot up. Right foot, left foot. Turn. Right toe. Maybe try to let out on the thing.
What makes this problem so difficult is that it basically has two cruxes. The first of which involves an awkward move to a tiny crimp just to get off the ground. This move alone stops most climbers dead in their tracks and usually has them crying about it being reachy. Well, Andrew ain't tall and he's making the move. I'm 6'5" and could barely do it, so draw your own conclusions. After that, the holds basically disappear and you're forced to hip scum your way up the corner using savagery and cunning not to get spit out. This section requires a particular technique your average boulderer just doesn't have, which is why a trad master like Andrew was so close to sending.
Come on. No. Come on. Good job, dude. Wow. Good job. Breathe. There it is. You okay? Nice. Balance.
Come on. Most of the dihedral is pinched down in the corner with zero crack to stick your fingers in. But towards the top, there's this little pod that we hoped once reached would unlock the climb.
Come on.
Sadly, this wasn't the case.
Shit.
Over a few seasons, I brought a bunch of strong dudes to this climb, but other than Andrew, nobody really made much progress. As long as I'm roasting all my friends, I might as well throw J-Tree's brightest young star, Jeremy, on the fire as well.
Oh, fuck.
To his credit, this was at the very end of a long day of bouldering, where he sent everything he touched, and he actually got really close on this. Jeremy has a massive gas tank, and he did not rest for 1 second between these burns.
I called you rock. How did you get there?
I don't know.
Oh my god!
What do you think about this boulder problem?
It's scary. But it's sick. It's crimpy. Man, my shoulder's like doing the warm with my shoulder. Foot. Oh man. Fuck.
Real close.
Well, my foot was like, yeah, foot high.
Getting back to Mason's first day at Hondo. After onsighting the roof crack in heroic fashion, I asked Mason, like the asshole I am, if he could do it again so I could grab some more angles.
I didn't do this, did I?
But this proved to be pretty difficult, and just goes to show how hard the start of the crack is and how truly impressive that onsight was.
Damn. Like, I'm not even close to even pulling off the ground.
We could check the tape.
Yeah. It's like, oh, his like back was leaning on the rock. Shit. That was really burly. I don't know how I just did that shit. Damn. Shit, must have some fire in me. Okay. It's horrifically unstable, but
Totally worked.
totally worked.
After giving it a few tries like a true professional, we called it good and left the crack behind. We warmed back up on some easier boulders, and then it was time for the next project. Having just witnessed one of the most incredible displays of climbing I'd ever seen, my hopes were pretty high. This could be the day the Dihedral finally goes down.
Where have you guys been starting with this?
Yes. Now keep in mind, I didn't give Mason any beta. That's not how I roll. It was going to be up to him to figure this out. I'm just kidding. Wow, how does Andrew reach that? And just like that, the Dihedral was no longer a project. I picked my jaw up off the ground and marveled at how Mason had sent our two hardest and most beautiful projects, one on site and the other second try. It was a damn good day for Hondo.
Another one. A little spooky at the top. Damn. I was just gonna fly right out of there in a moment.
Nice. Good job.
That's it.
Wow.
Lot where you said your buddy had gone?
Yeah.
Dude, I was scared. I was like, I'm gonna just pop out of this motherfucker.
I thought you were gonna slide out too. That back foot just kept going.
It's like not even on anything. It's just like,
Well, so tell me about that thing. What'd you think? What is it? What's it like?
that is a badass dihedral problem. Wouldn't even really, yeah, it's not a stem. It's like, yeah, you're like chimneying.
Yeah.
It's like the book of hate you're selling yourself. I'm surprised Randy Levitt hasn't been out here and done this thing. This is like right up his alley. Badass.
Badass indeed, my friend. Well done. On the next episode of When Mason Earle Came to Town, Mason sends my personal hardest first ascent in approach shoes with no crash pad. We visit an obscure crack known as the cause-proof roof, which legend has it had never been led. And finally, we'll get to Mason's 3-day battle with the epic overhanging offway.
That is steep. That's really steep.
Think about subscribing to the YouTube channel so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching.